guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society.
All right, folks, and welcome to today's little Bergy bit. I don't know if this is actually streaming. I believe it is, but not having the most faith in this, so we'll just go with it is. I'm recording it anyway, so if it's not streaming properly, I'll just turn around and upload it to YouTube. Anyway, I wanted to update everybody on some interesting things here that happened yesterday. Right, so yesterday I went down and had and submitted this to my congressman, right? I uploaded that to the victimoftheswamp.com website on the Awakening post, is an Awakening post. I got them signed and to verify that these were in fact delivered to Congressman Bilirakis. I also submitted a printout of exactly what's listed on the website and had him stamp that he received it. And that's for the Facebook Pioneered with Paul Manafort's #1 partner in social media influence operations to restore the integrity of elections worldwide. Oh, my goodness, that's an interesting one, right? And then I got him to sign this one and notarize that, just sign accepting receipt of this, that he's had both of these. They've been unaltered and they're available on victimoftheswamp.com, right? And so, but the memorandum I gave him, I wrote out. I'm not gonna sit here and read this because that would take all up my 5-minute Bergy bit. What I wanted to do is just quickly go over the post that I made this morning, which pretty much puts everything together. And so let me go down there here real quick. Bear with me. Okay, webpage. There we are. So I'm going to transition over now. And what you can see here on the American Awakening site, this is actually the page that I posted that to. The picture that I used was the connection, and just one of many, displaying the connection that Dynology, the executive chairman of Dynology in ClearForce, okay, so it's Jim Jones, his father, James Jones, that's ClearForce. ClearForce was mentioned in that. It's a big problem. It's a big issue I have. So that people should be aware of, right? So I just posted online, Afghanistan veteran that pioneered Obama's ShadowNet requests congressional investigation. That's exactly what I did. I tried starting it out here, making sort of a fun fact with the fact that, and I think this is important to remember, right? Because, like, wow, I get it on Facebook, some of the on Twitter, right? I put it out on Twitter and people are like, "Oh my God, wow, this is amazing." And then they're like, this is too good to be true. This guy's full of crap, right? Well, they've looked at my stuff for a couple minutes, something I've trying to warn people of since 2015. So I thought, hey, what's a good way to make an example out of this? So, right, so the person that I've provided information for under under a penalty of the False Claims Act if I'm lying, because I've submitted these to Congress, both the Ethics Committee, which is in a previous, which is it's also listed here against Congressman Charlie Crist, and so basically, so essentially, right, if I'm lying, throw me in jail, right? If I'm not lying, you got some serious issues, right? We got some serious things we've got to work out because if I'm not lying, which I'm not, then the guy I built the shadow net for, which is the same social media psychological warfare capabilities we indicted Obama for, is who Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg decided to partner with to ensure the uh, integrity of elections worldwide. Kind of seems like he lied a bit to Congress if that's the case, which it is, right? So I've sworn under penalty of perjury, under penalty of the False Claims Act, to our government. And I'm calling them out saying, hey, if you think I lied, arrest me. I hope you don't arrest me because, I don't go kicking my door down anyway because I'm fully volunteering this information. There's nothing classified. But I thought I'd make the point that there's in 2017, that's the closest one that Google would answer for me. The population in the world was 7.53 billion people. So I ask, what are the odds that of 7.53 billion people on the planet, of which the one person I've been warning everybody about since 2015, that I pioneered social media psychological warfare capabilities for and discussed with his son, who was my boss, literally the using this for U.S. elections, right? And I discussed the fact that in 2014, when I was working a contract in South Korea, I truly believe that I saw and detected and discussed with an IT security friend of mine, I think actually a couple people, that the Michael Brown riots were being influenced by the same capabilities that I developed on the battlefield, um, and in Iraq for Obama's national security advisor, right? So the statistical odds on that are right, 1 in 7.53 billion on me picking the right guy. And sure enough, so when Facebook 3 years later partners with that very same specific individual, then that works out to an odds of, I calculated, of about, that works out in the odds that I calculated of about, 1 in 7.53 billion. But so I Googled what were the odds on the Powerball, and much to my surprise, you got much better odds playing Powerball than me picking that because the odds of Powerball apparently one in uh, work out to 1 in 292,201,338, right? So really, folks, I should run out and play Powerball because I apparently either I'm apparently either psychic or I telling the truth. And if I'm lying, now you can put me in jail, no problem. If I'm telling the truth, though, which I am, that means Mark Zuckerberg lied. Hey, Jay, that means Mark Zuckerberg lied to Congress. And we have even bigger issues to worry about because Facebook has partnered with Atlantic Council to ensure the integrity of elections worldwide. So it's not just us in America that we have to worry about. It's the entire planet now that has to worry because, Facebook's like the largest. Okay, they've got over 2 billion. So if the population is 7.53 billion, then that means they got a lot of people. My math sucks, right? But do the math. It's a lot. It's a big percentage. So anyway, I'm going to sign off here for my little Bergy bit. I actually think I kept a pretty good time. I hope you share this. Somebody got offended on Twitter the other day because I said, you got nobody to blame but yourself for what's, going to happen to you. And it wasn't a threat or anything. I'm saying if you don't act, if you don't do anything, if you just sit there and like it and then don't retweet it on multiple platforms because they're controlling multiple platforms, and if you don't contact your congressman, contract Congressman Bilirakis, who's received this information. If he started getting calls from people saying, "Listen, you need to look into what PFC Bergy's been brought to you under penalty of perjury," this is kind of big stuff, right? So if you don't do that, then you're going to get everything you got coming to you. And what's wrong with saying that? Because if you don't act, then you get what's coming to you. I'm not looking at that as a bad thing or a violent thing or anything. I'm just saying, don't blame me if you know, don't blame me if something I've been warning about you for 3 years now happens, because it's already happened. And provably. It's ridiculous, people. It's so easily verified. Just go back to my Facebook. You can go back to my Facebook from when I was in Iraq and look at posts. Come on, people. You can look at my LinkedIn profile. The analysts I work with are all shared and are all linked in with me on LinkedIn. Right? This is easily enough verified, at least to the extent where where the intelligence, where the Department of Justice could start taking a look at it. We've been lied to, we've been lied to by Mueller, as you'll see in my statement online to Congressman Bilirakis. And we were lied to. We were lied to just a couple days ago, if not, I think yesterday, by the head of the FBI, Christopher Wray. If you put me in a classified room with the Congressional Intelligence Committee, I can point out probably close to a half dozen just outright lies, based on my knowledge, based on me working for the DOD with an above top secret clearance on the IIA programs for Obama's national security advisor for 3 years, and then 8 years altogether. And there's nothing I can tell you what we worked on. I can tell you what we did with the applications that I developed on those for the Department of Defense. What we did with them commercially, that we made it commercially available. You can go and see the marketing slick from Dynology online. I'm never going to discuss anything that we may or may not have done specifically as far as in Iraq or for any classified program I'm working on. Never have, never will. But I can tell you that y'all need to be paying attention to me, because either I'm psychic, and in which case I'll put some lottery numbers out and we'll see if I get those right, but I never do. I actually suck at this crap. I could flip a coin 10 times and I swear to God I'll get it wrong 8 times out of 10. That's a statistical improbability, right, folks? So I would just argue y'all better start listening to me. Better start sharing this. Ask questions. Good. But if I'm right, and I am, we're already screwed. And you're being played big time. And Congress isn't going to help you. I mean, what are we going to do, folks? It's up to you. Anyway, thank you all very much. Hope you enjoyed this little Bergy bit. And please feel free to reach out, contact me, share, like, watch. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. I'll talk to you later. Thanks again.
Guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society.
Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't get that, man. They go through all this trouble to get here and then come here and vote Democrat.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper means of the huge industrial and military machinery defense with our peaceful methods and goals.